Hello everyone, this is Rasan. I'm calling number 14 on the EU leaderboards on softcore. Today I'm gonna talk about the different variants of the meta build uh, people are using on the top leaderboards. What I'm gonna talk about today is what you can use instead of hider or mirror image. So you have like 5 options to this one slot besides magic weapon, teleport, prismatic armor, blizzard, and black hole. So this spell you can have 5 options and play around with instead of mirror image and hider. I'm gonna show you the benefit of slow time, time and space, and point of no return, modern impact, and familiar. The reason why people are using mirror image first with duplicate is because it got 4 uh, taunt that gonna taunt the enemy for you, so they should take some hits for you, and also they're gonna cast sometimes black hole and poke the strong arms effect that increase your damage by 5% on the enemy that are get knocked back from the black hole, and also your party members are benefit from the knockback from the strong arms bracers. So that's why people are using mirror image. The other reason for highlight is because they're gonna spit AoE that give 400% weapon damage on the enemy, and it's really good on static with boss like Grom and so on. Keep in mind what I'm talking about is two-hand version with the variation of this build, because I gonna make a video with one hand version after, because this build is focused on the two-hand version. But you could use it one hand. But let's talk about slow time first. Slow time, you can use 2 runes, time and space, and point of no return. Time and space, you can aim where you want the slow time to be, and point of no return is gonna be static around your character and stun the enemy when they leave or enter the slow time. The slow time on time warp is only slowing the enemy and slowing the projectile, where the point of no return is stunning the enemy. But the advantage of time and space, like I said, you can aim where the enemy is and keep a distance from the enemy, and this should enable to obtain the uptime of the Sage Stone of Vengeance, where the distance determine how much of the increased damage you benefit from the stone. So let me demonstrate time and space and point of no return. It's really good against Wan's enemy, because the caster will be very vulnerable against Wan's enemy. You can see how many projectiles I get, and you can see how effective they're stopping. You do not want to stand here when they come out again, so you have to keep an eye where the projectiles are. Like here, you want to not stand here and take damage from it, so you want to move here. Time and space, you can aim here and they're gonna slow, and you can black hole the enemy, and you can blizzard, and you can keep moving. So it's really good. With the point of no return rune, it's gonna only time warp around you, and then they're gonna stun the enemy. The reason they're both really good is just how you like to play. Do you want to stun the enemy, or you want to aim and slow the enemy? So it's really two fun options to play around with. Let me clear this so I can change my the next is modern impact. The reason for using modern impact is it gives you another options to trigger the damage over time spell from the bonus. and also good is really good burst damage, and you can aim at the enemy, and if you get high enough level of damage, you can do really high damage. Like if you face enemy and you have cooldown on the black hole, the normally you want to black hole and you want to blizzard and you want to move and keep reapplying blizzard, and the enemy is gonna come down to the track of the blizzard, and then they're gonna trigger the black hole, the dot damage over time from the Firebird. What Modern Impact is gonna help you with is gonna give you another dimension of trigger the Firebird damage bonus and burst damage. So when you have this on cooldown, you can use Modern Impact. When you have Modern Impact on cooldown, you can use Black Hole for combination. So I always use Black Hole and Blizzard and keep apply Blizzard on the track, and the enemy come here down to me. With Modern Impact, you have two options. You can Modern Impact, you can Blizzard, and you can move and Blizzard and Blizzard, Blizzard, and they come to you. So that's why Modern Impact is really good. Also, Familiar, you have two options. You have Sparkling Flint and Arcanaut, so that increase your regeneration of Arcane and power, and the Sparkling Flint is gonna increase your overall damage with 10%. So it's gonna increase 10% damage on the damage over time spell. It's gonna increase 10% damage on the Apocalypse and 10% damage on the Black Hole and so on. So it's actually 10% faster damage or more damage. So it's really good. And but it's only gonna attack whenever you attack. So in my opinion, they should make it so that it's gonna attack every time you see an enemy. But now it's only attack when you attacking. The Arcanaut is good for the increased regeneration of your Arcane power. So instead of Astral power, you can use Conflagration. Some people say Conflagration is not good, but in my it it's it benefit your Blizzard, because you're using Blizzard so much, and the overall damage from the Blizzard is gonna stack up it up if you have like Hellfire Amulet, so you can have 5 passive. So in the long run, it's gonna eat up from the benefit from the increased damage from the Blizzard, and you're also gonna apply faster when you crit. So it's not like if you see the numbers and you think, oh, it's not good. You need to think about several variants and also situation and so on. So it's not that bad. You can use also Elemental Explosion. What it does is every time you hit with Arcane, you get 5% increased damage, cold 5%, and fire and lightning, so on. So each elemental stack 5% increased damage for 5 seconds on the enemy. With your follower, you have lighting damage from your weapon. You have fire damage from your spells, and you can have arcane power from your familiar. The problem with it, like I mentioned, is only attacking when you attack. It's not attacking when they see the enemy. So it's not like you can have 15% uptime with this all the time.
I need to go back.
Another good combination you can use is Bane of the Trapped. Yes. The last thing I demonstrated is Audacity, 50% increased damage when they're close to you, like 15 yards. This is like this. And Bane of the Trapped does it increase the damage on the enemy by up to like 30% or something. I cannot remember, but the hour on the the slow also increase also trigger the damage from the gem. So both the passive Audacity and the Bane of the Trap really synergize with each other. it's really more a melee gym, but like I said, those two options synergize with each other. The reason for that is because 50% of the time when you are on Greater Wave or you see my videos, I'm really close to the enemy. So every time they're close to me, they take 30% increase here and 50% increase from here. That's 45% increased damage when they burn. But they're not gonna benefit from Sailstone or Vengeance. But the but if you do not have Audacity and Benefit of Trap, they're not gonna benefit from the Sailstone or Vengeance anyway when you close. So you do not have extra damage if you do not have those two when you close. And it's really hard to calculate because every whiff is different. So if you use Ben of the Trapped instead of Poison Dims or Ben of the Trapped, you will lose 10% damage here and the damage from the weapon damage, and you lose the increased damage from elites and the increased buff for every time you kill an elite. So you have 20% increased damage for 72 seconds. So it's really a trade-off because there are so many situations where you close and there are many situations where you distant from each other. Like I would say it's 50% and around that. I have not played around with it, but I can see the potential with it. And as I have seen some leaderboards, some people have used Pain after Travel, and I think it's really good also. So I hope this video helps you with other options than just hide and mirror image. Like you can use familiar, slow time, and modern impact to spice up the what is called the options you have. What also on my last second I want to talk about is the target damage. The weakness here is single target damage because modern impact has a cooldown. Familiar does not fire all the time, and slow time is only a CC, and hider is really hard to aim when you use Mammoth, and Blazing is not that strong, and mirroring is also a CC option. So your single targets is really weak here. The reason for that is we cannot sustain and spender that much because we need the other spells to make us survive the higher greater width and able to kite. Also, the two-hand weapon is really a slow weapon, so it's not gonna fire fast. So what is gonna benefit most is from challenge spells, challenge spells like disintegrate. You really want you're able to do this on greater width, but it's really hard to get high if you do not have slow time or duplicates and hide to survive and get higher up, because it's good to have AoE options and one single target damage, but you need the CC from the duplicates and slow time if you really want to get higher up. Hider is possible, but then you can only do the easy width, because if you do not have CC options, you can only do like 1 after 10 width maybe. Uh, but if you have the CC up, you can do 50% of the width on your maximum level of what you have beaten. So what I think Blizzard want to do is they're working on the force weapon and the armor to combine it maybe, or use some passive so we can have one more AD slot to accommodate, like use familiar with Arcanaut and Astral Power to increase our asset power, and then we can use this. So we have space to have this and a CC option more. So yes, you need to have to play a high level to understand a little what I was talking to the last point. But I hope the video was helpful. Have a nice day.